Liverpool out here teaching lessons in the Premier League tonight. Firstly, Leicester almost relegated with a clinic from Jurgen Klopp's men. A great display of control, devastation in front of goal, and an impenetrable backline tonight for Liverpool. And also teaching lessons to anybody that wrote Liverpool off. As I predicted back in January, an outsider after a bad start to the season for a chance of finishing inside the top four, and they are 1 point off of it, with both Newcastle and Man United currently slipping, currently not in great form. Man United just got a win. Newcastle 2 games without a win. Newcastle play Thursday night at home to Brighton. What a massive game that is. It's the game in hand. They must win it. Liverpool smell blood. Lessons to be learned. You do not write this Liverpool team off. And I understood why people did, because the high line was being exposed. Klopp kept on playing the same players and the same system that had been found out in the Premier League. But then 6-7 games ago, he makes a fundamental change and he moves Trent Alexander-Arnold. And this is something I never wanted to see as a Man United fan. As a football fan, the host of the Terrace, I implored Jurgen Klopp, make a change, Jurgen. You've got to take Trent out away from sitting out there as a right back, because he's not very good at it. But we know where his qualities lie on the ball. His passing ability. I remember having debates with young Tom on the show here. Little Tom didn't think he had the awareness to be a midfield player. So far, the proof we've had so far is yes, he does. Another dominant, spellbinding, emphatic display from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Yes, he's referred to as an inverted fullback, and that is the name that is now given to that possession, but he's essentially playing as a midfielder, and it is another excellent performance that helps lead Liverpool to 7 straight wins. They're ending the season impeccably well, and I think sending a message that next year, with the right signings, this team is going to be back, and this team is going to be very, very dangerous again indeed. There is no doubt about it. And just to finish off what I was saying about Trent, and we'll talk to the panel when they get here. In my opinion, I think he's the best inverted fullback in the league. I don't believe there is another fullback that can move into the midfield areas and pass and move the ball as well as him. It's just a joy to watch. And as a football fan, I'm glad to see it, because he had too much ability to keep getting exposed out on that right-hand side. He was kept there far too long. And, Liverpool fans were demanding for weeks and months, make a change. Do something different, Jurgen. And he's done it now. 7 straight wins. And had a few wins recently, Liverpool, where it was narrow. The teams they were playing were in it. Spurs game, the Forest game as an example, West Ham. But tonight was just quality. Another great performance as well from Mo Salah. A hat-trick of assists for him for the first time. And both passes that he made, especially the first 2, into Curtis Jones, who himself grabbed his first brace in the Premier League for Liverpool, were just out of this world. And people tell me that Mo Salah has no technical ability. People tell me that Mo Salah is technically deficient, has no football IQ. This is just wrong. Just wrong. He may not be as good as passing the ball as KDB. He may not be as good a dribbler as Eden Hazard. But those 2 particular skills, those individuals are in the best of the best category in Premier League history. His main job is to score, which crazily tonight, even though he put on a world-class performance, missed one of the easiest chances of the game. But his overarching ability is sublime. Another day where he picks up great GA, and GA matters. Anyone that doesn't believe in GA, I think you're capping. I don't believe you don't believe in it. I think you're just saying it. Another great performance from him. Curtis Jones, as I mentioned, really in this run of 7 games has been brilliant for Liverpool. And you kind of look at Trent, who's now been moved into the middle. With Curtis Jones performing, do they really need 3 or 4 midfielders? Maybe not. Maybe they can improve the back line. Maybe a DM and a McAllister. Because Curtis Jones is looking the real deal. Trent in the midfield. Is there anyone? Honestly, I haven't seen many midfielders this season put in better performances than he's doing in their area right now. And his defensive attributes have also improved. There was a moment, they were 3-0 up, gave the ball away, tracked back, got back into the right positions. It's almost as if he's taking more responsibility because he's in a role that I think he wants to play more than right back. I don't think he is one. I don't think he wants to be there. And sometimes subconsciously you switch off. But those three today, Curtis Jones, Mo Salah, and of course the imperious, I think that's the right word to use, Trent Alexander-Arnold, sensational. And I haven't even mentioned the free kick. My word, what a goal. And look, I'm watching as a United fan, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. From the host of the football test, I'm kind of glad Liverpool won because it gives us some excitement because the rest of the league's done. As a Man United fan, I'm not going to lie. I wanted to turn the TV over and put The Walking Dead on. And then I realized I've got to work. So I was like, all right, I better watch the rest of the game. But yeah, hats off to Liverpool tonight. Sensational. Absolutely sensational. And it heats up the remainder of this Premier League nicely. It really does, because Man United and Newcastle have got no room for a mistake. None. They can't draw a game now. They must. Now, on paper, United need 2 more wins from 3. Got to beat Bournemouth now. You've got to beat Bournemouth. Have to. Forget games in hand. They're not real points. We must beat Bournemouth. Newcastle on Thursday must beat Brighton. Because I think Liverpool fans, they may not want to say it out loud. They may not want to upset the football gods. But I think underneath, they believe. I think, and I'm looking at all their faces backstage. See, there's smiles on their faces because they know I'm exposing them here. They're like, oh, I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to do it. One of them's slipping up. One of them is going to make a mistake. I think one of Man United or Newcastle might make a mistake. I really do. What a night. What a night for Liverpool this evening. It really, really was. And I say that through, listen, and I've been one of the biggest criticizers of Liverpool this year, and I felt that they deserved it. I felt that a team that nearly wins the quad has no business being where they are now in 5th and scrapping to try and get that place. And I do think that the criticism's been fair, because you look at the situation with both seasons that Liverpool have had these drop-offs with some injuries, have both have essentially fallen down to Jurgen Klopp, in the sense of, if he would have just played centre-back that 2 seasons ago, instead of playing midfielders there. As soon as he went to playing Nate, I don't remember who his partner was now, it eludes me. But as soon as he started playing those two together and put his midfield back in place, they won like 10 on the bounce. And as soon as this time he's changed his system and he's put Trent into a position where his world-class abilities shine through, Liverpool look really good again. And they're getting better. They're getting better because confidence is being bred. So you listen, and it doesn't mean that Jurgen Klopp might be the best or second best manager in the world, depending on your preference, depending on your point of view. It doesn't mean he's not immune to criticism. Criticism is key from fans to their club to keep their club honest and keep their club improving. So well done to every single Liverpool fan that called out the problems. Well done to every single Liverpool fan that demanded change, because you are part of the reason why your team has got better again. Because that seeps through to, we know Jurgen Klopp looks at social media. He calls you all out the other day. He reads it. And it's no doubt it's got, all right, I'm going to make that change. And he did. Just like Michael Jackson in The Man in the Mirror. Make that change. He did. And Liverpool look good right now, and I'm annoyed. But I know it will trigger some people that are not Liverpool fans. Why is a Man United fan praising another team? It's my job. It's my job to be impartial. What the hell was that? Sorry, there's a massive bang. One sec. Oh, what was that? All right, cool. Fuck me. There was a bug and she smacked it on the window, but the whole went boom. I was like, my God, I thought someone broke into my house. Thought I have to go and be a man and have a fight. Oh, put the willies up me, that did. If you're not from England, that means scared. Honestly, it was so loud. I was like, what the hell was that noise? She killed a bug. Anyway, there we go. Let's do some of these super chats here. First one says, evening, Terry and everyone. Southgate was at the game. England need him in the midfield. He could be the difference in a major tournament. I'm going to trigger Liverpool fans now. Look, it was Southgate that put Trent in midfield first. This is Southgate's tactic. So Southgate might be thinking, all right, here we go. Let's start doing it a little bit more. I believe, Terry, that Liverpool are going to win. Going to be in the top 4, and they are going to win the Premier League or Champions League next season. Jacob's feeling confident tonight. Man's got his big boy pants on. I like it. I love a fan who's confident. I can't stand this sitting on the fence mumbo jumbo that we get these days. Man United is afraid that the Scousers are coming. The top 4 is on. It is on. I've been saying it's on for about 3 weeks. It was obvious to anybody with a brain that it was on. The Scousers need feeding, and it's not even Christmas time. Football gods will see it that they finish out of the top 4 where they belong this season. It's interesting, though, because the season's 38 games, and it's where you are at the end of it that counts. And they go on to win. Are they on 36 games now? Yes. So it would be, if they win the last 2, it would be, 9 wins on the bounce? That would be the second best winning streak of anybody this season. Maybe third. I think Arsenal might have won maybe more than 9. But listen, they're going to deserve it, in my opinion. The league table doesn't lie. Ted Bakes plays spin the bottle with his sister. I don't know why I'm laughing at that, but it tickled my pickle somewhat. 71 points we will get is what James says here. Yeah. Man is nervous. I'm not going to lie. I am nervous. We will go on a winning run. You're on a winning run, bro. You're not going to go on one. Terry's next headline, loud bangs scare me. You know, you're bordering now on the lines of the scare me stuff being dead banter, but yeah, it wasn't necessarily scared me as in the bang scared me. I thought someone tried to break into my place, which meant I was going to have to throw hands. And I'm 37. I ain't been to the gym for 6 months because I've been ill, and I haven't punched anybody for like a year. So I don't know the power I'm packing anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what I was more nervous about. But no, it's all good. It's all good. And then I'd probably go to prison in this country for defending my own house. But there we go. Terry was about to go put some work on. I was. It depends. It wasn't that long ago. I was doing a stream and there was like banging on my door. And legit, same thing. I was like, Jesus Christ, someone smashed my door in. Went down there. It was an Amazon guy. He's like, I didn't want to miss you. But I'm surprised there wasn't a hole in my door. That he was hitting it so hard. I honestly thought it was the police. Only the police knock on your door that hard. If someone's after you, they'd knock quietly, make you less kind of alert. I thought it was the police. And then I'm thinking, why the hell would the police be at my door? I haven't done anything illegal. Nothing worth bragging about anyway. So, like, yeah, it's always worrying when people bang on your door. Terry, have some shame. I don't know what you're talking about. So you're a Liverpool fan. All I've done is praise your team, and you'll say, have some shame. This is what some people like you do, Dev. When I praise Liverpool, you go, you're only setting us up for failure. When I criticize you, you call me a hater. Like, answer me a genuine question. How else do you want me to talk about your club? When you're bad, you want me to say you're good. And when you're good, you want me to say you're bad. Do you want reverse psychology? Is that what you need? Come on now. Put on your big boy pants. Be a grown up. And just go, okay, Terry's praised us. Thank you. That's it. Yeah, I've seen the audio release of the VAR stuff, and it's exactly what I've been telling you all for 2 years it would be. Refreshing. Makes you understand what goes on. I would like to see the audio from some of the mistakes, though. I'd like to see that. They won't do that to themselves. Bring the audio out, and it stops all the problems. It's as simple as that. Don't jinx us, Terry. Oh, I'm not jinxing you. I didn't say you're going to make it the top 4. Said you're in the races on. I'm not made a prediction on that yet. Right, panel time. Dom Hassan speaking first. We've got Jerry, we've got G, we've got Zane, we've got Roms and Ram. That should be like an act, shouldn't it? It should be like a double act. Roms and Ram. So it's a good name there. Right, hit the like and the share button, people. You know what to do. Also, the Top 6 podcast, the new episode's now out on Spotify. Download it on Spotify now by scanning that QR code or clicking on the link in our description below. Let's do this. Welcome back, one and all. Big win for Liverpool tonight. The Don, talk to me, brother.
Unbelievable performance today from Liverpool Football Club. Absolutely unreal performance. Ram's smile is irritating me because I know exactly what he's about to say. So is Jerry James's smile. So is Ram's smile. I already know. Before I even speak, I already know what they want me to say. I already know. I'm gonna get there. Let me work my way through it. Here's the thing. Today's performance was absolutely unbelievable. I thought we controlled the game. I thought we played. Oh, this guy as well. I thought we played really well today. I thought we played really well today, and we controlled the game. And the thing is, for me, like these performances as of late, it just makes me think, like, Klopp, why didn't you just do this inverted shit just like 4 games before? If we just did it like 4 or 5 games before, we'd be comfortably in the top 4 right now. We really would be comfortably in the top 4, and I don't think it'd be a competition. The only thing is now we have to rely on others to give us results. Bournemouth, Chelsea, etc. Brighton. I know they play Newcastle as well this week. Sorry. So it's still a possibility, but I wouldn't say it's a probability. It's more of a, it's just like a thing that could happen. I'm not going to say it will happen. Individual performance today, we have to clap for Mo Salah today. Unbelievable, 3 assists. Unbelievable performance. I'm not lying. Unbelievable performance today from Mo Salah. And the thing is, like, he should have scored that 1-on-1. He should have. There is no excuses for missing that. But when you impact the game like he did today without scoring a goal, I don't think anyone's going to get onto you. And this goes for other people in Liverpool's squad, in Liverpool's team, certain players that's names shall not be mentioned. You can miss 1-on-1s, but if you impact the game like Salah did today, no one's going to be onto you. That pass for the first goal, unbelievable pass. Second goal as well, like that touch to just play Curtis Jones in behind first time. Also another unbelievable pass as well. The third one, I can't lie to you. I'm not going to sit up here and say unbelievable assist because that's all Trent. That's all Trent. Trent today, once again. Gareth Southgate is in the crowd. Every time he's in the crowd, Trent just has an unreal performance. Every single time. I remember the COVID year when City won the league, when we were kind of fighting for top 4 at the end. He scored the winner against Aston Villa as well when Gareth Southgate was at Anfield. I still remember to this day. And somehow, some way, he's going to play some other player instead of him. I don't know how. I really don't know how you watch this and you play someone else instead of him. Moving on, Alisson Becker. Thank God he's our goalkeeper. Thank goodness grace. Honestly, like when it's 0-0, you need someone like that. You need someone like that to just stop opportunities, stop chances. And for me, Alisson is just the absolute best keeper in the league. Fabinho.
Oh my God! Just say it, bro. Come on,
Fabinho
bro.
today.
Just to the chase.
Is this my match reaction or yours? You're gonna be on the screen too. You can say whatever you want. Fabinho for me channeled his 18-19 Fabinho. Today he was just on top of everything. And I'm gonna make a general statement before I go to the last thing that they want me to all speak on. This goes to, and Terry knows exactly what I'm about to say because I spoke about it 100 times this season. All the people who go like, let's sell Salah, let's sell Trent, let's sell Van Dijk, let's sell all these players. When you have certain players in the squad who are so many levels below others, you keep the good players, surround them with other good players, and then if the good players that you keep are still not performing, that's when I'll consider selling them. But I can't believe people wanted to sell Salah, Trent earlier on this season. This shows you when you have quality, you have to keep that quality and surround it with other quality around it. Now, Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones.
Let's go, man.
Curtis Jones. Or all the people asking for an apology will not happen. I'm not going to sit up here and apologize for absolutely nothing because he deserved us getting onto him. He deserved the criticism that he got. He deserved us looking at him as not a serious option. But since the Arsenal game, he's been comfortably our best midfielder. Comfortably our best midfielder. He's been playing his role really, really, really well, getting into dangerous positions, doing the stuff that you expect a midfielder to do. But the one thing that I've criticized Curtis Jones for consistently criticized him for, that he's doing a lot better now, is releasing the ball. The one thing that got onto my nerves when it comes to Curtis Jones is he never knows when to release the ball. He's now releasing the ball really well, which is something that we need. But there's a bigger picture here, and this is what I'll end on. I don't want to sit up here and do monologues. This is what I'll end on. I already see journalists, just getting ready to already just start their usual bullshit. Oh my God, Curtis Jones is gonna save Liverpool millions this summer. No, he won't. Curtis Jones's form should not change a single thing for this summer. We are in this position to begin with because we're crap and we deserve to be in this position. And if Jurgen Klopp and the football club had a little bit of shame about them, Curtis Jones's fantastic form still should not change anything about this summer. We still need 3 midfielders. We still need a centre back. We still need to change a lot of things because those are the reasons why we are in this position to begin with. So I'm not going to look at a guy who's playing and under no pressure good for 5-6 games and go like, oh, now he's my solution. Oh, haha. Who cares about Jude Bellingham? We've got Curtis Jones. No, I'm not going to do all of that. So for me, he's a fantastic squad option, but it does not change a single thing for transfers this summer. I'm done now.
Yeah, I hear you on that, and I think most Liverpool fans would certainly agree. And we've got a lot of Liverpool people on it tonight. What I will say, we're not all going to get the chance to do a full rendition of what we thought happened in the game, mainly because we'll be here until about midnight tonight. But I wanted to first talk about Curtis Jones. Who wants to speak Curtis Jones tonight? I want to go to Tom because Tom loves this kid. Oh well, I say kid. He's old. He's old enough to be Tom's dad. But like, talk to me tonight about. Talk to me.
Curtis Julian Jones. Finally starting to prove. Yeah, that's his middle name.
Femi Jones. We've got to put some.
Sorry,
respect
Femi.
on the African heritage as well.
Yeah. Curtis Julian Femi Jones. What a player! What a player! I was here after Nottingham Forest. I think that's on the Clips channel. Done fairly well on the Football Terrace Clips channel. Me and Curtis going at it blow for blow. Who was worse out of Jones or Fabinho? I was backing my boy Jones, and this is I'm finally seeing the Jones that I knew was in there. He just needed the run of games. He's one of these players that needs to build up a bit of momentum behind him. And he's got that momentum. And since the system change, he's probably been... You can have an argument for him being top 3 players since the system change. He's been that good in terms of the impact he's had, in terms of the role he's played. And I do agree with the Sam. It shouldn't change what we do in the summer, because we should still go out and buy a McAllister for that side. We should still go out and buy a Mason Mount. We should still go out and buy a DM. But Curtis Jones has now proved himself as a fantastic option for next season, and someone who I can sit there and look at and go, let's say McAllister needs a couple of games to bed in or needs a little bit of time, just to get himself fully settled in and integrated. I've got someone who knows how to play that role, who I know can give me a consistent 7 or 8 out of 10 in that role. And he's only 22. This is the thing. People act like he's 24. He's 22. He's still got ages of time. I backed him from the start. I've done 50 minutes on the Sam's channel at the start of the season, defending him, saying he'd be a valid option for us this season. He's proven me right. Long live Curtis Jones. He heard the Leicester fans trying to chant shit about Scousers. He turned into prime Steven Gerrard for one night only just to stick it to them. I'm all for it. Next season, he's going to kick on even more. I'm all for it. Big ups Curtis Jones. What deserved man of the match.
Yeah, he was very, very good. He was very, very good tonight, indeed, in that midfield area. And where do you think this form's come from? Like, out to anyone on the panel, from him? Because yes, it's a run of games, but is it a combination of getting game time? And do you think the system change, having another competent midfielder in there with him, like Trent, who we'll move on to later, is that what's helped him? What is it down to, Jerry?
I think it's down to the fact that when Trent comes into midfield, Curtis is actually allowed to play further forward. So in 2 games now where he's got the goal, he's actually the last man. He's on the back post and the last man. If we were playing in our old formation, he wouldn't be there. He'd be covering Robbo and he'd be covering Mane, who was on the left-hand side. So he'd be much deeper. There was a couple of games where he even played as a DM in that some FA Cup game. And you're like, what's going on? In the academy, he always played as a winger. He played as a number 10. He even played as a striker at times when he was actually younger. So we're seeing him in positions where he's able to go and excel. And then he's also got the ability to go and keep the ball in those areas. And we haven't had a player that can do that since Gini. And we've been screaming about, Gini Wijnaldum. But he's the one player in our team, bar Thiago, but you know that biscuit's always crumbling, so he's never available. He's the only one apart from them who can actually keep the ball high up the pitch. He's not. He might be making those sideways passes and keeping the ball, and he might not be making those incisive passes every single time. But he's the only one that is able to keep the ball in the final third, which then allows us to then progress. You're seeing Trent then get on the ball more. He's able to have more time on the ball because he's drawing players into him to then release other players. So it's just been a good combination. Even his ability to hold on to the ball. I know Hussam alluded to it. He's holding on to the ball because that's the type of player he is. We saw Maddison today holding on to the ball loads. Those types of players do exist in the game. Not every player plays off one touch, two touch all the time. But we have to go and utilize his strengths. And I think with this formation change, I think it's just helped him. But I've got to go back to what Tom said. The run of games has 100% helped him because this has been his longest stretch ever as a Liverpool player. Like in terms of consistent games, game after game. He went in, was it last season, a couple of seasons ago, scored a winner against Southampton, or was it Brentford, and or scored a screamer against Brentford, and then was subbed, and we didn't see him again. This has been his career, so it's good to see, man. It's good to see.
Terry, quickie, because I've got to go soon. I just want to highlight the importance of. I know people are going to sing Salah and Curtis Jones praises and Trent, rightly so. They're going to have the headlines, but I just want to praise ALISSON again because I disagree with Sam saying it was a good performance from start to finish. For me, we had to weather a storm the first 15 to 20 minutes. And for me, ALISSON was a catalyst for that because there was many times there's a one-on-one save with Vardy, and we all know Vardy's record against us. I think he scored the most since Klopp's taken over, the opposition player with the most goals. But there was a through ball, I think it was from Maddison, and he makes a one-on-one with Vardy because if they go 1-0 up, this is a complete different game. And not even just that chance. They were playing so many through balls in that first 15 to 20 minutes, and he was just sweeping it. He was literally just sweeping it. And for me, I think he's so important in that first 15 to 20 because it could have easily been a different game. Yes, the rest will get the headlines, but I think ALISSON, and because he's been such a constant this season and been our best player, I don't think his praises will get sung enough tonight, but they need to because for me, I think he's a big reason why we won this game also.
Yeah, listen, I mean, Alisson's been so good for Liverpool all year. You might look at a lot of people may look at Mo Salah as the player of the year, but I think Alisson Becker probably deserves it because he's kind of had a season when when De Gea at Man United was in his pomp and we finished fifth, but we should have been 10th if it wasn't for his saves. That's what I think he's done for you guys this year. He's been imperious in goal. But Liverpool do look really good now, and there is another player that. I don't think we can go the night without talking about this. And I want to pose this question, and anyone can jump in when talk about this. Is Trent Alexander-Arnold the best inside forward, inverted fullback, whatever we want to call it, inverted fullback, in the Premier League? Is he the best at doing that job?
In the world. If you were to ask Pep Guardiola, if you were to sit Pep Guardiola down and tell him you could have any player to play that inverted fullback role, he's taking Trent Alexander-Arnold. He is the benchmark for what you want in that role. And people will get onto his defending. You know what? Since he's been in that role, he's been fantastic defensively as well. I think that's getting pushed under the radar a lot because of just how good he has been attacking. But defensively, he's dealt with almost anyone he's come up against while he's been inverted. They've not had a sniff. And today, he didn't get an assist, but he still ran that game from start to finish. Some of the passes he pulls out, oh my God, that they are a joke. And I stand by it. If you could get any manager in the world who plays with inverted fullbacks, you could give them any player in the world and say, you can have any of these. Who do you want playing that role? They're going to pick Trent. He's the best at it, and he's only going to get better. That's why, like Sam said, it's so mind-blowing that we waited this long to do it. Because now that we've seen it, you're sitting there going, we've known he's had this in his locker. We knew he had something like this available. You just didn't go for it. Now I need to see it carry on next season. I don't want to see us go back to Trent Alexander-Arnold on the touchline whipping in crosses because that wastes him. When I know what I can get from him in the middle, him on the touchline is wasted. I need to see all the time Trent Alexander-Arnold inverted. He's the best in the world at it.
I want to point something out, and I want to get G's take on this. There's a stat in football that's become a very popular one to criticize people with in the last few years. And there's a certain player who plays in red up north somewhere who always is criticized for the amount of time he loses possession. But how good was Trent tonight? What would you all give Trent out of 10? Just throw me some numbers tonight.
9.
8.
I'd give him
8,
8,
7.5.
8, yeah, 8,
9.
8.5.
33 times he lost the ball today. But why
Yeah.
did he lose the ball 33 times? Because he was trying to penetrate, break lines, create opportunities. Losing possession doesn't equal having a bad game. When he was losing possession 15, 20 times a game, and it was in really poor defensive areas or giving the ball away needlessly, that's what you focus on. But no one will look at that stat. And I'm not bringing that stat up to bring him down. I'm pointing out he was losing the ball tonight for the right reasons. For the right and Sean here we go. No, again, see, you're a person, Sean, with a negative disposition. I'm turning around and pointing out that when you do what Trent did tonight, that means there was probably a good 20 times where he played balls tonight to try and put people through and it didn't come off. But you know what Trent's brilliance is? It isn't the fact that he pulls off those brilliant balls. It's that he doesn't let 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 bad ones deter him. He keeps trying. KDB is identical. This kid is special. And you need to keep him as far away from playing conventional right back as possible. Do you see this being a position that he should be starting in as opposed to being inverted into?
No, I think the inverted is better. I think it's better for the team because if he starts in that position, then I feel like then there's a lot more onus on the team to have to stick with a back three, even when we're defending. Whereas when we defend now, you saw him at times, he was over there on that right-hand side. Yeah. Harvey Barnes wasn't getting as much joy as he probably would get in a normal kind of game. So I think keeping it like this, I think it will help us because defensively, I'm kind of with Roms in terms of, we were still getting open. Yeah, I mean, if we didn't have Ali in goal, we could have conceded goals. And that's kind of been the theme for us. And I think that's something that Klopp needs to, it's not all, by the way, on Trent's side, by the way, that's just a team kind of thing. But we still need to work on how we are defensively as a team because I still think we're quite poor defensively, even though we got the clean sheet today, but that was just more due to ALISSON having such a great game. But Trent in this position, it's weird because when I look at Trent, and obviously people look at the assist that he's got recently, he scored a brilliant goal today. He's not doing anything that I haven't seen him do. So he's not doing anything beyond like, oh my goodness, Trent is playing. I don't feel like he's playing out of this world. I feel like he's playing what he was kind of really doing back when we were, when we won the Premier League or when we won the Champions League. He's kind of doing the exact same thing. He's just doing it now from a central position. But what I would probably give Klopp props for is that he's allowing Trent to have the ball a lot more than he used to. Before, it was percentages. As Jerry has mentioned it before, it's all about the percentages. It's all about get Trent, give him, 20 crosses out wide. He might be able to get you 3 potentially on target, not because he's poor, but just because they might, clear it out, blah, blah, blah. Now we haven't got to worry about that. We ain't worrying about Trent going out wide, getting the ball into the box. Now it's Trent, get on the ball. Your passing is probably one of the best, if not the best, arguably in Europe. So get him on the ball a lot more. Let him dictate play a bit more. Let him have that kind of freedom that he clearly wants to have in the team. And then it allows everyone else to kind of, move around and do whatever. So I think when we're looking at Trent, if you look at his performances properly, you'll notice he's not playing out of this world. He's not doing anything differently. He's playing more or less like I've seen him play. The passes are all the same. Everything's the same, but he's doing it a lot more and he's doing it in the right areas. So that's why I feel like we look probably a little bit better going forward with Trent in the middle. But keep him there, man. Keep him there in that inverted. Don't change.
This is the thing, right? The problem is that, in an attacking sense, okay, we scored 3 goals today, but I still feel when bigger, tougher teams are out there, we still struggle to create chances a little bit. And Trent has performed admirably. He's done really well coming into a position that he's not, it's not completely alien to him. He's playing a little bit more centrally when we have the ball. But, when people say, oh, he's a midfield, he's playing this midfield role, it's not really a midfield role. It's just he's starting in a fullback role and he's moving into the middle rather than pushing right up. The question is, when we come up against really good teams who've got solid defenses, we still have struggled to some extent to break them down. Luis Diaz coming in, maybe that could prove to be an interesting addition because we have lacked that a little bit, and he's had some decent games, not so great today, but he had moments, and he's had moments since he's come in. So that's what I'll be looking for. Hopefully, his impact coming in might might change things moving forward as well. But this is by no means the finished article. We need to strengthen. We need to strengthen the summer, and there are several positions that we need to do so in.
Yeah. Sorry, go on, Zane. You wanted to speak. Go on, bro.
Yeah. So I think there's two elements to it, right? His vision and his quality of passing can't be touched in the Premier League. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne is up there, but I think what people also discounting is the fact that playing that position, he creates a 2 with Fabinho, and defensively, we look more solid. It's no surprise we've now got 3 clean sheets in a row. We've won 7 games, and I think what Klopp's done with the shape is that he's let Konate deal with the ball down the right because he's physical, he's fast, and he's a better defender. Let's keep it real, right? So what he's done is he's utilised Trent's best attributes, but also protected the team in making sure that in those dangerous positions, we've got better quality defenders. We're not saying Trent is a bad defender, but he has been exposed, right? And there's limitations to what he can and can't do. By putting him in that inverted role, you get the best of both worlds, where he's now understanding and he does run back now and get involved, but ultimately he's not been isolated one-on-one, which is probably his weakness, is those one-on-one defensive situations. So I think if you take it all in context, thank you, Arteta, you clown, because unlike Zinchenko, my man can pass the ball and do some things, bruv. Do you get me right? So thank you very much for giving Klopp a blueprint of how to proceed. And I think one thing I want to call out now is the England manager, Gareth Southgate. You're a prick, bruv. Honestly, the fact that you're not putting a quality player like Trent in your England team, bruv. There's a reason why you man ain't winning jack shit, bruv. You need quality, bruv. Not fucking Jordan Pickford in goal. You need a quality player, bruv. Do you get me? And the fact that you disrespect
hang on.
Brother,
What's Jordan Pickford got to do with Trent?
The fact is, it's like Jordan Pickford's made probably the most mistakes this season.
You've got to call out the right back. Talk about the right back.
No. What I'm talking about, the point I'm trying to make here, Terry. All right, let me finish the point, and then you add your thing on
Why are you talking about goalkeepers? Trent don't play in goal.
Okay, what I'm trying to say here, right, is that you put quality players across that team, bruv. Quality players. You're telling me you not putting Trent in the England team is not going to improve them if you build around quality players. That's the point I'm trying to make is, and the fact that Gareth Southgate does not put in Trent or build a team around Trent's qualities, it's madness. It's crazy. It don't make any sense. Look what, as I said, look what Klopp's done in the past 8-9 games by utilizing the best attributes of Trent. Look at the difference.
Zane, let me ask you something. You see, obviously these last 8-9 games, obviously we've been playing. Yeah, I feel like we're playing okay. I don't feel like it's been great, but it's been decent. But when we was going on these other runs earlier on in the season, quite a lot of people, content creators, fans, they kept saying the same things that we're kind of saying now. When we were playing with Darwin Núñez up top with Salah, and they were playing as a 2 in that kind of diamond. I remember the game against Spurs that we won. Everyone was like, "Yo, this is the formation that we got to go with, man." When Bajcetic came into the team and he was playing, reasonably well in that team, and it looked relatively fresh, everyone's like, "Yo, we got to keep this guy in the team. We're going to keep playing well, blah, blah, blah." When Thiago came back from that injury at the beginning of the season, it was the same thing. We went on a little run, then we obviously lost the game, and then obviously it was back to the same thing. Why is it now, and this is just for everyone, I guess, like, why is it now everybody thinks that because we're winning games now, all of a sudden we're back to somewhat,
I'll tell you
some
why,
type of thing. Like, I don't really get it, because for me it's the exact same thing.
I'll tell you why, because
I think it's because we're on our longest run.
The 4-4-2.
But is that what it is? Is it just because we're on a run that everyone's getting excited and they're like,
oh, these wins are sustainable now. These are actual sustainable wins with actual sustainable performances.
But we were saying that before, though. That's the bit that I'm getting. Because what if, say for example, we lose a game? Let's say we lose our next game. Is everyone going to kind of turn on this tactic? Are we all of a sudden going to be like, nah, this tactic's shit, man. We can't do this anymore.
When you look at the ones that went before, when you look at the diamond that you were on about, it had that 5-game run. It had from Ajax to Southampton. While it worked, it wasn't sustainable in the way that we were still not great. It wasn't great football. It was just getting wins. It was just getting us over the line.
But isn't that what we're doing now, though?
No, because this is actually solid football. This is solid football with consistent.
So the West Ham game, the Nottingham Forest game, they were what you call to be solid wins. They were scrapes.
They were solid performances. Yeah, they were solid performances from the majority of the team. They had patterns of play. They had something I could sit there and look at and go, that's what I need. That's consistency. When we were playing in that diamond, it felt at times it was just waiting for the individual brilliance of someone to carry us through the game. And while, yes, you could sit there and say, oh, you need the individual.
But we're doing it now.
To get you I was gonna say. But this has more consistent patterns of play. This has more consistent of a style. This has more, it's sustained for longer. We're able to actually dominate games. I'm able to sit there and watch us for a full half football going, I'm not really worried about, them coming to hate us. And that's the big thing about this now. This is just sustainable in my eyes.
But we just, again, the thing is, I don't want to keep being negative. It's just that I just find it funny that fans always, not anyone in particular, but people flip-flop quite a lot. We just sat here at the beginning of this show, like at the early part of this show, talking about how ALISSON saved us. So if ALISSON wasn't there, so again, obviously individual, blah, blah, blah. If ALISSON wasn't there, is it not the exact same thing that we've been talking about throughout the season? That's the point I'm trying to get.
Can I just say, as a neutral watching, I think it's a really good challenge. I think, probably barring City right now, most teams that have withstood that onslaught from Leicester in the opening 10, 15, 20 minutes, they're a relegation team. All the relegation teams that start games fighting. I think that this new system has got great promise for you. But what it needs is new midfielders, and I think you need some new defenders. I think that you need a refresh. Not about, and I know there's a lot of sentimentality at Liverpool when it's something the fans and the manager need to get over. Some players need to be moved on. New players need to come in to challenge people for positions because it does need to be a freshening up. But what I'm seeing is because of this tactical change you've made, what's the old adage? Like a change is as good as a rest. And it almost feels a little bit like there's a rejuvenation. I don't think you look perfect. Today was probably the best you've looked in this run of 7. You go back 4 or 5 wins. The Forest game, the Spurs game. You could have easily drawn or lost those games when you actually go back. But I think you're just steadily getting better, and it's a great way to end the season. You add the right players in the summer, and listen, you guys, because in the attack, you're starting to click. In the attack, you're starting to look dangerous. I think when you stop leaking as many chances, I said to a gal on the Top 6 show earlier on this afternoon, I think writing Liverpool off now with no chance of competing next year, I think is stupid. I think it's absolutely stupid.
Did a gal write us off?
He just said
yes, yeah. He said we wouldn't compete with Arsenal next year and wouldn't be challenging for a title.
Talking about? But Terry, one thing I want to add on that, right, when we won the league, we had a lot of scrappy 1-0 wins. People discount this stuff. You need to understand. Even City, they've had to scrape some wins through, right? If you go on the run, you cannot play flawless, amazing football, game in, game out. There are going to be games where you have to grind it out. All the best teams in the league have shown that character and skill when they're not playing well to get over the line. And you need to understand that's part of football. You cannot be 10-10 all the time. You're going to be 6,
how many in the season, yeah, if you had to percentage-wise, how many of these games have we had this season where you would say, no, Liverpool have actually been, because let's say in a season, every team that wins the league, you're going to play better more time than you will have to grind out wins. I'm sure we'd probably all agree with that. You're gonna have to play better more times than you think. I'm saying just before you finish, I'm saying that we're seeing I'm happy that we're winning. Obviously, we're close to the top 4, all of that kind of stuff. What I don't want is to, like Terry even just said it there. Obviously, a gal saying don't write Liverpool off who might not challenge. I'm saying that could potentially be a possibility. At the end of the day, no one on this panel, or maybe a couple, sat here and said, yeah, you know what, this season Liverpool are going to be trying to scrape top 4 with the team that we had last season and what we did. So we don't know what's going to happen next season. We don't know what's going to see. So that's all hindsight anyway. What I'm saying is that this season we spent more time grinding than we have actually playing well. Like we played well, maybe
but
10 to 15% of the time, like out of 100.
I think that's a really good point. Samuel wanted to say something. I want to do some super chats after that. What are you saying, Samuel?
Yeah, no, I think this run, you saw it in the Arsenal game when we changed the formation. We had a rubbish first half. We started to get back to it in the second half. I think this formation, we're just growing into it, and performances have been getting better. I just wanted to come up and say this: Klopp outed. Do you want Klopp out
What's going on? What's going on?
Nah, that's
Do you want Klopp out
as well, bro?
Because you need to have the
of course. No, that don't change, B. That doesn't change.
That don't change. That narrative don't change.
That don't change. No. Don't think that these wins are going to automatically just change the way that we think. Like the only way that I would probably change my mind, he would have to go out and win the league or the Champions League next season. Outside of that, I'm not hearing anything differently, because then it's the same thing that I've been seeing for the last God knows however many years. So we're talking about people saying
sorry, I want to go to the Klopp out before we go to you, Zane. So what are you saying, Jerry? What are you saying, Jerry, about the Klopp out stuff?
Yeah, just to echo what G's saying. For me, Liverpool fans in general, we've tasted like ultimate success, right? On the verge of doing a quad, 100%. Now, is just getting into the top four, is that sufficient for us fans? Is that sufficient? Is that enough? After doing what we've done, do you know what I mean? Being in the mud for so many years, achieving, do you know what I mean, the pinnacle in Europe, achieving the Premier League. For me, there has to be the next step now. There's got to be the target has got to replicate what City are doing in terms of being consistently winning, doing back-to-backs, trying to establish yourselves as, you know, we're a solid team for me. So if we're just going to get top four and that's what it is, and you win one league every 5 seasons and you have this, for me, I'd rather go and try, and I would like the club to show some type of ambition and try and go and be like, you know what? That's not to discredit what Klopp's doing. That's not to discredit what he's done. That's not to discredit how good of a manager he is. But is that the best that Liverpool can do, or can they do more?
Can I just interject real quick? Can I just interject here? Nobody said that the only thing that we want is top four. I think a lot of the thing is that Klopp out was really went in for him January, February time. And it's quite silent right now. So all I'm just saying is that we have to keep
me, though.
Klopp out. No. Be vocal.
Tom, I'm calling Tom out on this.
I've not changed. I still stand by.
I'm still on Samuel.
Yeah,
I still stand by it because yes, we're on a nice run of form. Good. My concerns still have not been answered, and my concerns will not be answered until next season. Because my concerns were, can he rebuild a team? Can he show a level of ruthlessness to not keep players who are holding us back? Number 14. You know, all these lot. I need them to change. And yes, he's given me something. He's actually shown a bit of tactical flexibility. But guess what? My biggest worry is he goes back to prime Jurgen Klopp, and I see first game of next season, Luton away, 4-3-3. And then we're back to step one again, where we're back at this whole point. Jurgen Klopp has done something which I didn't think he could do, which was a big tactical switch. He's playing close to a back three, which I didn't think he had in him. So credit to him. But I still have plenty of concerns which have not been answered, and they're not going to change until I've seen it. If Jurgen Klopp proves me wrong, I am more than happy to sit there on streams, to sit there on Spaces, sit there whatever, and have people go at me for an hour. Because guess what? I want not more than for Jurgen Klopp to prove me wrong.
Do you know what, Tom?
No, but it's not. It's not.
Go on.
The thing is, just it's not really about anyone being right or wrong, but Jurgen Klopp has earned the opportunity through the success he's brought us to make those mistakes. And ultimately, as with any manager of any top club, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Jurgen Klopp has earned the right to make those mistakes. And if it ends up, you know, and if it doesn't end well, so be it. But there's absolutely Klopp out is an extreme view in the Liverpool fan base. I don't think anybody can deny that. I don't think that's a particularly mainstream view.
I'm going to be shameless on this. The transfer window. I think
I was just about to say
you have to. The big problem with
the denominator is how we perform on the pitch. Next season, regardless of whatever they do,
the biggest thing is the bodies in midfield. We haven't invested well. We haven't signed the right players.
Ultimately, it matters on what happens on the pitch. Jurgen Klopp will live and die by what happens on the pitch. If he chooses not to strengthen the squad, if whoever's in charge just chooses not to strengthen the squad, and we go backwards, they will pay for it.
Then,
that's how football is.
But Rams made an excellent point there, right? You're comparing to Pep, who gets any player he wants. Money's no object, right? He spent 500 million just changing the defense because it wasn't what he wanted, right? Klopp's never had that.
All right, quick one, Zane.
No. Let me know my point, and you lot can come
Zane,
back.
1 second. Zane, 1 second.
Let me add my
I want to
point,
ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. Bar Timo Werner, which was obviously twerking for Liverpool, and Tchouaméni that we bid for, but just wanted to go to Real Madrid anyway, right? And now it seems like Bellingham. What top player over 50 million has Klopp not been able to go and get that he's wanted?
All right, so when we
just answer that. Virgil van Dijk we got, Fabinho we got, Naby Keita we got, Gakpo we got, Salah he didn't want, but we got him. He wanted Mane, he got him.
The only one I can.
How many? All right, let me answer the question. Let me answer the question, Jerry. Let me answer the question. How many times has he got the opportunity to sign a 50 mil plus player over many seasons? No, because
we answered the question.
Everyone, slow down. You're not answering a question. You're asking one. Answer the question. Answer the question directly.
Every time he's been allowed to go for 50 million plus player, yes, he's invariably got what he wanted. But the thing you're discounting, Jerry, which is shameful of you, which is very shameful of you, is the fact that how often has he had the opportunity to go for those 50 plus players? Generally, no, he doesn't. His budget is limited.
Every chance. Hold on, no. Zane, hold on. You do realise, Zane, every year, bar one, which was 1920, Jurgen Klopp has got a 45 plus million player, bar maybe 16, 17, however much Mane was. He's got a 40 million plus player every single window. It was Mane, then it was Ox, then it was Van Dijk, then it was Keita, Fabinho, ALISSON, all in one go, which covers if you want to go for any excess ones. Then he got Jota. You missed 1920. You missed 1920 because you didn't get anyone then. Then you get Jota after that. Then you get Nunes. Then you get Diaz. Then you get Gakpo. Then you get Konate. So that's 10, 11, 40 plus million pounds. He's had money to spend.
No. He's not had money to spend. You're talking nonsense. Other clubs are getting 2, 3, 4 players at that level, bro. We're getting 1 or 2 if we're scraping.
Okay, but hold on. Before anyone even goes. Okay, cool. We're gonna go with that. What you just said there, Zane, which is other clubs. One, why do you care? Because those other clubs are not Liverpool. So if they spend 50 million on a player, that player is obviously not going to be the player that Liverpool need and or want or is at Liverpool's level. So clubs can go out there. Nottingham Forest, they just spent, I don't even know how much money they spent in the summer. Are you mad that we didn't spend as much money as Nottingham Forest, who are look where Nottingham Forest are in the league table? Are you mad? Hold on. Are you mad? No, but are you mad that we didn't spend more money than Nottingham Forest? Are you mad right now?
I'm mad the fact that
are you mad that we didn't spend more money than Nottingham Forest?
No. See, that's the thing. You lot just that's why I hate about you, man. Right? Because you lot, man, chat the way you chat like you know what you're talking about when you don't. I've been saying consistently for 2+ years.
All I said was, are you mad? Okay, and all I asked you, Zane. See, look, you're getting all hot for no reason. All I asked you.
Understand the logic, bro. It doesn't make no sense.
No, but because no. It's not that you don't understand the logic. You understand the logic perfectly well. You just don't want to answer it. There's a big difference. And you know it, and I know it.
Answer what a dumb question about. Am I mad about other clubs spending more money?
But are you mad? Is the question I'm asking.
No, I'm frustrated that my club has not bought midfielders for the past 2+ seasons. When all you man.
But Zane, just answer the question. Are you mad that we're not spending more money than Nottingham,
bro? You need to get a wax.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
No.
I'm not mad of other clubs spending more money. What I'm mad about is us not buying the players we need.
Yeah. All right, Zane.
Let Ram go.
Yeah, go on, Ram.
Because with me and JJ had this conversation all the time. I'll answer the question. There's only one time in Klopp's tenure where he wasn't fully backed when he wanted to play, and that was when we had that defensive crisis in January. That's where I can give it to him, being like, okay, you wanted Konate, the board didn't back you then. But the reason why I can't say it's all on Klopp is because Klopp is FSG. Klopp is FSG. They're both symbiotic. They both love each other. They both sleep in the same bed. That's why I can't say FSG don't back Klopp, because Klopp might be going up to FSG and be like, nah, I believe in these players. I believe that Henderson's good enough. I believe that Milner's good enough. Like, we saw so many rumours about Milner getting a contract.
Tyler Morton prop. He sat there in pre-season telling people,
no, but
you've got Henderson.
Tom, we have a latest example. He's giving that prop to Connor Bradley, who's playing for Bolton in League Two. When I'm going out there saying I want Marcus Pedersen and Alexander Barr as a right back. What are we doing here? We can't just say it's all on FSG because Klopp is also culpable in this situation as well.
I'm putting my hand up here. Just putting my hand up. Yeah, lovely, wonderful. One thing I did fight with a lot with Klopp outers, but one thing I never denied is that Klopp has made his mistakes. 100% Klopp has made his mistakes. And one thing I think I said to you when we had we thought we was going to get new owners, and I explained my whole kind of thinking behind it. I always said Liverpool is bigger than Klopp. Klopp is never bigger than Liverpool. We're going to have to move on from Klopp sometime soon. 100%. But my thing with Klopp outers is that none of Klopp outers could give me a good answer to who would you want next, and can that person sustain success? Can that person succeed under FSG? Under FSG,
I have the man.
I have the
man. You know what? What would have to a man called Ruben Amorim? Ruben Amorim,
for goodness sake.
Let me go.
Tom, how do you spell Amorim?
It's kind of catch-22, because what would have to happen is someone would have to work under the constraints of FSG, but that also means we're lowering our standards, because realistically, under the constraints of FSG, we could only really battle for top 4. We can't really go for a title with these owners. I get that. But I just think for this season in particular, there was other managers that would have us in better stead than Klopp. That was my point to you at the time. That was all.
No, you man are crazy, because look, you hit the nail on the head. With better owners, we wouldn't be in the situation we're now. And that's the thing you don't need to understand, is the fact that, again, half of you man were twerking last season when, we're going to win the league, we'll win the quad, blah, blah, blah. When it was obvious we didn't have the facilities to do that. Now you lot got egg on your face because you got rinsed in the summer. Let's keep it real. You lot got rinsed for that.
Hang on a minute.
Zane.
When you say you don't have the facility to win the quad, barring a 20-minute comeback from Man City and a 1-0 defeat to the greatest European team of all time, you were a game and a bit away from pulling it off. To say you didn't have the facilities for it on another day, you would have done it. Like, to say a team that doesn't have the facilities for a quad goes out in the group stage of the Champions League, finishes 15-20 points off the top, and barely and scrapes the Carabao Cup by itself. That would be a team that Man United this season didn't have the facilities in their squad to win a quad. You did. And with a good summer this year, you do again. You guys have got a very good team and a world-class manager. What went wrong this season was not addressing the midfield issue. And then the high line with Trent at right back got exposed, and you just didn't make the changes early enough to recover. Those two things, one of the things have been fixed now. You need to buy Will in the summer, and you're competing again next year. But to say that you're not a team that can compete on all fronts is a madness.
No, Terry,
that's under FSG, by the way. This is under FSG.
Let me counter that, right? So I said consistently our midfield wasn't of the quality to win everything. I said, and you can say that if buts and maybes are, if this happened, whatever, I'm very logical and factual. at the end of the day, what happened? Did we win the league? No. Did we win the Champions League? No. So ultimately, you can say all this. Oh, we could have done this. We could have done that. The fact is, we did not have the quality.
Zane, I disagree. When you finish 1 point off the top, or a handful, 1 or 2 points off the top, yes, you didn't win it. So factually, you're right. The team that beat you to it had slightly more quality than you. But saying you don't have the quality to win the league is wrong when you're that close to winning it. Just because you're there or thereabouts winning the league. The teams that don't have the quality to win the league are teams that are nowhere near a title race. If you get to Man United get to the FA Cup final and we lose 1-0, the fact that we've got to a final means we've got the ability to win it because we've got all the way to the final. Teams that get to Champions League finals have the ability to win it. I think what you're doing here, you're playing semantics. And yes, the team that wins it is slightly better than you. But to act like Liverpool didn't have the ability to win the league last year is crazy.
No, Terry, what about Tottenham last season? Tottenham, let me land this and then you lot can talk. Tottenham last season, where was the quality to win that game? If you won that game against Tottenham, we would have won the league.
Manchester City lost both games to Tottenham last season.
For Man City. That's why they're winning the league.
Zane, you have the quality to beat Tottenham. You just didn't do it. So by that logic,
we had Donkey, Henderson. Come on, bro. What are you talking about?
Stop. Nottingham Forest. Are you telling me Man City don't have the quality to beat Nottingham Forest because they drew with them this year?
When it counts at the end of the season,
I'm not letting you talk unless you answer our questions, right? Do Man City have
We're going to be here all night.
Do they have the quality to beat Nottingham Forest?
Yes.
But they drew with them, okay? These things happen. Just because you missed out on the title by a point doesn't mean you don't have the quality to win it. That's a madness statement.
No, it's not. The mad statement from you, man, is context. At the end of the season, quality players step up to get the points. Look at what Gundogan's doing for Man City. Man City have been given a lot.
You're just waffling.
Because I'm not waffling. It's facts, Steve. You're not attacking shit. You answered nothing that I can't argue with.
Zane, the reason why we cast a lot of these players because last season it was the only time where the majority of our players were still fit. I remember we used to cuss Naby Keita so much for not staying fit, but last season he played about 30 games last season, and he playing well at the time. That's why we were challenging for everything.
I think the point that I was trying to make.
I've got another question for you. Real Madrid versus Man City this coming week. Do Real Madrid have the ability to beat City?
Of course they do, especially in the final.
Okay, yes. So just nice and quick. Does City have the ability to beat Real Madrid?
Yes.
But one of them's going to lose. So by your logic, that makes sense. You see what I mean?
This is why it doesn't make sense.
What you do is clever. It's semantics, right? After the fact, you can make it as a fact. You can make a factual statement and go, Team X haven't got the ability to beat Team Y. But before the game, they've both got a chance to win. Before the final day of the season last year, it was plausible that you won the league. I think you may have even been in the studio. Well, a lot of Liverpool fans, well, we can do it today. You weren't there.
I'm sorry.
The point I'm making is you're doing like hindsight sort of like a hindsight comment, and after the fact, it's easy to say what you're saying when you know the result. But before games, you're not saying that.
No, hold on, Terry. Last season, I said we're not going to win the Premier League. I said that consistently. I was getting attacked for my.
But listen, this is the difference.
So what are you talking about?
Stop a second. You said we've got no chance. You clawed back a 12-point deficit, and we're 20 minutes away from doing it. Your prediction was wrong because you said no chance. The fact that you didn't win it makes no. It's like this season, right? People that said Arsenal will fall away in November and there'll be nowhere near a title race. Some of them are celebrating now, saying, I told you. No, you were wrong because they were in a fucking title race, you dickhead. Your prediction they'd finish 20 points behind City is incorrect. People that predict them to win it are also wrong. But Zane, you weren't right because you said we'd be nowhere near a title race.
No, I never said again. You're making up nonsense. I said we're not going to win the league. That's what I said.
A cup team.
Yeah, I made it factual. And guess what?
You said you were a cup team and you'd be nowhere near the league. Let's go to some of these super chats here.
What happened? What did we win? 2 cups.
Yeah, okay, well done. Celebrate your team failing, mate. Well done. I'm happy for Aubameyang, but not to ask why did he leave for Chelsea. Big up to Barca for getting the money for his transfer. At least he can say he won the league before. Oh, did he get a winner's medal this season? Because Barca.
Yeah. He played like 8 minutes, so he got a winner's medal.
Oh wow, Terry. People want distribution from goalkeepers. Good shout on Trent in goal from Zane. That's true. He could be. This is from Chow. Big up Donny James. He says, unfortunately, Leicester are all but done now. Liverpool have been great at the moment. Hit form at the right time. Yeah, Leicester. Can you imagine that? Like 6-7 years ago, they win the league. I think the last time they were talking tonight, the commentator said, like, when you guys won the league, they were second in the league when you visited them there. It's crazy the drop off at that club, you know.
They deserve to get relegated, Terry, man.
Bro is glazing Trent. What does glazing mean? That must be a new word I'm not familiar with. Oh, wow. I just realized what that might be. Yeah. I realized what that might be. Glazing. Oh, wow. Whoever's doing that, good luck. Terry, be afraid. Be very afraid. Liverpool is coming. They could well be. Jones is a brilliant squad player, nothing more.
Why do people act like that's a bad thing, though? Every team needs good squad players.
Absolutely, man. True.
Debbie here says, Terry, shout out to Barca for winning the Liga with both teams. Both teams? What does that mean? Did you catch the parade, and do you think Barca is truly back? I think teams like Barca won't consider themselves back until they're able to compete in Europe and be sustainable. But domestically, they were never really gone because them and Real Madrid have got a monopoly. And look at the rules they get to break or like have bent for them to win. It's crazy.
They're in a lot of debt, Terry, though.
I know. Hopefully we get De Jong in the summer. Liverpool are like that kid that sleeps through all the classes and still somehow passes the midterm and final. Yeah, there's an element of truth in that. I like it.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Yeah. Right, question for you guys then.
Villa will be tough.
Do you think you're gonna? Who thinks you're making top 4?
I've been saying this for time.
Okay, so who's missing out? Newcastle or Man United? In your opinion?
Newcastle.
Really?
One of them's gonna miss out.
Yes, sir.
I wish I had this.
Let me paint a picture. No. Let me paint a picture for everyone. Bournemouth away. Manchester United, they go there. They haven't got a great record, the vitality in recent years. They've had a couple of dodgy results there. Dominic Solanke does something for me. You know, he pulls out his own Liverpool shirt.
You're so shameless.
One game. We just need drop points in one game. We just need drop points in one game. Now, Chelsea, right off Chelsea. Lampard's
awful. You ruined the painting when you mentioned Dominic Solanke.
Lampard's awful.
I've been saying this for time.
But last game of the season, it's revenge season for Fulham. They were 1-0 up in the FA Cup when they got the red cards. Mitrovic got suspended for 8 games. Who's back now? Alexander Mitrovic. 90th minute, Stretford End. 1-1. Level. Drop points again. We nick it last day of the season.
I want to shut Tom's hurting my feelings now. I'm going to shut him up. Go on, Sam.
I've been saying this for a time, and Terry, you know this. I've been watching Newcastle's fixtures, and yes, Newcastle were on a good run. But one thing that I've noticed that before, they were on a run of like a 5-6 game winless streak. I've been watching Newcastle's games. They lost against Arsenal. They drew against was it Leeds. They've got Brighton next. Brighton are a very good footballing team. Very good footballing team. All we just need is Newcastle to draw twice, and we just keep on winning our games and run up the goal difference. I think now we're 4 goals. I think it's 4 goals away from catching their goal difference. So they also got Chelsea. Now I know Chelsea have been dead. This season. But you never know with Chelsea.
No,
You never know with Chelsea.
No, Samuel, the last time Frank Lampard went to Old Trafford, he got spanked 4-0.
I'm not talking about Man United. I'm talking about Newcastle, Chelsea and Newcastle. Because they got Brighton. Listen, never know.
They might want to give him a nice send-off. You know?
Look, guys, here's where I bring it back to reality, yeah? I think we're going to get 71 points. I think we're going to get maximum. But we just left it too late, man. These man are going to get 72 points.
Doubting Dom Solanke?
But I gave up on Solanke since 2017, mate. I'm done. I'm done with him.
Do you know what I'd say? Look, Man United could fall out of it, and I'm not going to tempt fate and say it won't happen. But Brighton, Bournemouth, are up now. They stay up. They're safe. There is an argument that when you're more relaxed, you can play better football. But Man United are going to want to win. Although people keep calling out our away record against the lesser teams is pretty decent. I think we'll beat them on Saturday. I shouldn't say this. This is going to come back to bite me in the arse. But I have no real concerns about playing Chelsea at home. I just don't. I just don't have, because they're just gone mentally, and I think we'll be.
Terry,
okay.
you know what? Chelsea.
I think Man United win our next 2 games. Forget Fulham. I think we win our next 2 games. But I do agree that Newcastle, Brighton. If Newcastle don't beat Brighton on Thursday, then I think Liverpool overtake them.
Terry, and I'm gonna end it with this. Yeah, if somehow and some way Liverpool get top 4, I'm gonna call it. Whoever drops out, whether it be yourselves or Newcastle, it's the biggest bottle job in Premier League history. I'm going to say it as it is. 12-point deficit. 12. I don't think anybody had that big of a deficit. And I'm hoping to God it might be you guys. I'm hoping.
I think Man United with 12 points behind title beyond Newcastle.
Was it Newcastle?
I thought it was 11.
Yeah. Well, okay. So for me, 11 points to win a title is bigger than falling out of top 4.
Yeah.
One of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, but
again, you're too young to remember that. You're too young to remember that. Staffy's here. What are you saying, Staffy?
There, I was just watching the stream. I was having fun. I'm like, you know what? These guys just had a good win. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Rums knows I had the coal ready. I was ready to smoke that hookah. I had a feeling Leicester was gonna do something, but they didn't. And I'm like, you know what? They can go, bro. They can get relegated. I'm so tired of them. They're shit. We'll take them players, not us, but like everyone. So they can piss off. But anyways, I'm just here watching the show. I'm like, you know, let these Liverpool boys have their fun. And I just hear our name being dragged in this again. Tommy, why are you still talking about us, bro? I've been telling you for about a month, we're not dropping out of top 4. I'm telling you this week after week. I'm saying this, bro. I do shows in 2 languages, bro. I do shows in 2 languages. If you don't understand me in English, you can understand me in Arabic. I'll give you some Arabic lessons. So you can understand we're not dropping out of top 4. Why are you talking about Bournemouth? Who gives a shit about Bournemouth? They just got slapped by Chelsea. Who'd they lose to? Then they just lose to Brentford. We're not losing to them, bro. It was the Palace? My bad. Yeah, Palace. Why are we why are you talking about my team, bro?
So, Staffy, I'm just gonna run it back to last time.
Because he was asked.
It was 3 weeks ago, and Ram was here and Rax was here, and I said something which you did not like. I said I can guarantee United will lose 3 games. And how many games have you lost since that stream?
Did we lose 3?
I don't know. Have you lost? You've lost minimum 2. I don't know if you've lost a 3rd one in that time, but I know you've lost 2.
No, we haven't. We lost 2, yes, but we haven't lost 3.
So
your prediction is still incorrect.
One game off being right, and you said there was no.
And that's still not enough, by the way.
You said there was no way that was ever going to happen that United would even consider losing.
I'm still correct, and I'm still correct.
You know what? One thing I will say.
You said there was no way it would ever happen, and you lost 2.
And it still hasn't happened.
Hang on. We have to lose 4. But we have to lose 4.
I know you have to lose 4. I said I can guarantee 3 losses.
So okay, but that don't help you.
But that's I'm not.
Both of the teams have to.
It's one of those, Terry. He'd rather be.
I'm not going on about what I'm going on about personal pride here. I said United will lose 3 games, and I was told there is no way in hell that's ever going to happen, and I'm 1 game away from it. So I'm on about personal pride. I know you.
As long as we get top 4, you can flex out.
You know, another thing as well. United need to make sure it's not them that's the team to drop out, because not only that 7-0 is historic, it then becomes significant. I think you said it earlier, Terry.
Bro, I agree.
To make sure it's not easy.
Like, for me, I look at it this way. I'm worried about dropping out, and I've been saying this to Man United fans for weeks. I've not really understood why they've been sitting there, not calmly, but it's not going to happen. Liverpool fans playing it. Of course it can. We hit a really bad patch of form. This Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff against Bournemouth, we need to slaughter them. We need to go out there with intensity. They're on the beach. And beat them. We beat Bournemouth. We will win we will win one of our last 2 home games, because our home form is absolutely impeccable. I think we'll be okay. But we beat Bournemouth and it will be okay. However, Newcastle slip up against Brighton on Thursday. That actually gives us an extra insurance policy. And Newcastle are the ones at the moment who are looking a little bit shaky. You know, we've got the home form that's good. They've got 2 away games. So, yeah, look, it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens here. I've got some super chats I've got to do. First one says, Terry, I mean men and women's... men and women's team. I wasn't sure. I don't follow women's football too closely. That's not a disrespect. I don't follow the championship or European football either, but I'm not too sure. I only found out yesterday afternoon United women were in a final, and I watched it, and we lost. I think I was a jinx. I shouldn't have done it. But there we go. I say Man United because... The reason I don't know, actually, is I don't follow the Football Plus. I don't go on Man United websites or anything. funny. I don't even know who our young kids are coming through at the club because I boycotted the club 5 years ago. I just don't know what's going on at Man United. It's a bit weird. Anyway, thank you, Debbie. Buy Leicester, start the fire sale. Barnes at United. No, I don't know about Barnes. I don't know about Barnes. Do you know who I did? I thought I was talking to Jess about today. Samari. I remember he was the player all the hipsters raved about. That man is absolute.
The next Kante.
Nah, Terry. It was Tillemans. It was Tillemans. Everyone was rating about, and it was just like
Samari just joined.
Because Samari was the next Kante at the time.
Even Patson Daka. I remember being told by people, "You don't know ball if you don't want Daka to replace Rashford." Jones scored twice, and Klopp will say one CDM is enough. That will be a concern for Liverpool fans, so they definitely need more. Listen, I want to say a big thank you to all of you, all the panel tonight. Thank you very much.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
That's
you
a
did.
lie. That's a lie. No, don't do this to me. I did not say I wanted Daka.
A lot of nonsense.
No, I didn't. I didn't want Daka. No way.
Ram,
no.
Show some chest. You know what we used to call Ram because he got no chest. We used to call him Two-Backer.
Yeah, and I said I didn't want Daka. I can happily say I didn't want Daka.
Great nickname.
I didn't want Daka. That's a lie, KJ, and you know it.
Two-Backer, no chest. Listen, viewers, hit the like button before you leave. Subscribe. Back in the morning with some big transfer news. Make sure you keep your eyes open. It's going to be a big one tomorrow afternoon as well. Lee Gunner and me are going to. We obviously, I don't know what he's going to come out with. He's been sending me messages tonight, right? Talking about what he wants to speak about tomorrow. Legit, right? I'm not even messing, right? I reply very quick, one word. This man's been sending me messages. So yeah, tomorrow it's going off on the show.
He's getting you, bro. He's getting you.
No, me and Lee ain't like that. Listen, do you realize like we're mates? Like
no, banter, isn't it?
It's just he ain't really coming for me.
Why is he so happy that us for losing?
No, he's not. Do you know? I'll actually read out what his message said because we were talking about something here, and he said I give back all the views my channel's had in the last few days just to win a title. But to be honest, so much of this fan base is fucking clap. They don't deserve to win anything. But we'll speak about that tomorrow. So yeah, that's a private message. So he wouldn't he wanted to win the league. He really is gutted. But there we go. Listen, people. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye. God bless, and we'll see you all again soon. Peace.